So I've heard players say, including myself, I feared Mike. I've heard players in your generation say they feared Kobe. I've never really heard any players say they fear LeBron.
The NBA once had the reputation of being a battlefield. It was a league known for toughness, physical play, and intense rivalries. Many fans believe that the modern era feels very different. Some critics even argue that today's stars receive more praise because of longevity and record-breaking achievements rather than the same level of physical dominance that players like Michael Jordan displayed during their era. However, that debate alone isn't what sparked the latest reaction from Shaquille O'Neal. Something else seems to have pushed the conversation much further. Take a look at this.
Because the game is different. Like, I want people to understand, and our fans to understand, that playing 82 games in the 80s and 90s is not the same as playing 82 games in the 2020s.
Recently, discussions surrounding Shaquille O'Neal have resurfaced as he openly shared his thoughts about the current state of the league. From changing styles of presentation, social media culture, and the way players express themselves before games, Shaq suggested that the atmosphere around the NBA feels very different from the one he experienced during his playing days. For longtime fans, the league used to feel like a psychological battle every night. Players competed with relentless intensity and were focused entirely on winning. Critics argue that the modern NBA sometimes feels more like entertainment, where personality and branding are almost as important as performance on the court. If you remember a clip that circulated some time ago, you'll understand why this discussion started trending again.
I'm a goofy-ass 41-year-old kid.
And the conversation only became more heated after that moment. During an interview, LeBron referred to himself jokingly as a goofy 41-year-old kid, which quickly spread across sports media. That comment triggered a new wave of debate among fans, who constantly compare today's stars with legends like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. According to Shaq, the difference isn't only about championships or statistics. He believes it's also about presence and how players carry themselves before games. In the 1990s, opponents often described facing the Chicago Bulls as intimidating because of Jordan's intense focus. Kobe Bryant later developed a similar reputation with his famous Mamba mentality, where he approached every game with a cold, relentless mindset. By comparison, critics say modern warm-ups and social media moments sometimes give the game a lighter atmosphere.
This was hours ago here at the arena. LeBron James going through what looks to...
Some fans have even joked about certain modern warm-up routines, saying they sometimes look more like rehearsed performances than traditional pre-game preparation.
What even is LeBron James's new warm-up routine? Basically, LeBron throws up the basketball as high as he can, and once it lands, everyone on the team squats with him. And then LeBron just trots up.
Shaq has been one of the most outspoken voices discussing these changes. On his podcast, he once mentioned that when you watch certain viral clips from today's NBA, you can understand why older players feel the league has changed significantly from what it used to be.
I've never really heard any players say they fear LeBron.
For Shaq, the idea of the greatest of all time is not about popularity or branding. In his view, greatness comes from dominance and fear on the court. During earlier eras, players tried to intimidate opponents psychologically before the game even started. Some legends believed that showing too much playfulness before a game would only motivate their rivals even more. Critics say today's culture sometimes blends competition with entertainment, creating a very different atmosphere than the one older generations experience.
Broke LeBron
in Game 5.
So get your to him, okay? The media and the league knew that they had an agenda in which we wasn't part of the agenda. You understand? That's how they ended up winning that series. Yeah, I said it. We didn't give a about LeBron. We didn't fear LeBron, and we didn't think that he can beat all five of us.
When fans compare this to stories about Michael Jordan, the contrast becomes even more dramatic. Former players have often described how intimidating it felt simply to share the court with him. That aura became part of NBA mythology. At the same time, social media has made modern players far more visible, which means every warm-up routine, celebration, or joke can instantly go viral. Because of that visibility, some fans feel that the focus sometimes shifts away from pure competition and toward creating moments that trend online. Legends like Shaquille O'Neal often say their criticism isn't only about statistics, it's about the overall mindset and atmosphere surrounding the game. Some former players feel that the superstar, who represents this generation, should project a certain level of intensity and leadership. But the moment many veterans point to as the turning point happened in 2016. Right after the Cleveland Cavaliers completed the historic 3-1 comeback in the finals, LeBron James confidently told the world that the victory made him feel like the greatest player of all time. Instead of waiting for analysts, fans, and former legends to debate the legacy, he openly claimed the moment himself. That statement immediately sparked endless discussion across the basketball world. In the eras of Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant,
That one right there made me the greatest player of all time.
For
That's
so
what I
many
felt.
reasons.
many fans remember that greatness was usually declared by others rather than by the players themselves. Jordan's reputation was built through championships, clutch performances, and iconic finals moments that forced the entire league to acknowledge his dominance. His famous 6-for-6 record in the NBA Finals became part of basketball history, including unforgettable battles against the Utah Jazz that kept fans across the league on the edge of their seats. Kobe Bryant followed a similar path, winning 5 championships and earning respect through relentless dedication, work ethic, and the mentality that later became known worldwide as the Mamba mentality. Critics of LeBron often argue that his legacy has been shaped not only by performance, but also by branding and marketing. His Chosen One label and the constant media coverage surrounding his career have made him one of the most recognizable athletes in modern sports. Supporters highlight his incredible longevity, pointing to the fact that he eventually became the NBA's all-time leading scorer after more than 2 decades in the league. Detractors, however, compare that achievement with the scoring dominance of Michael Jordan, who captured 10 scoring titles during his time with the Chicago Bulls. In contrast, LeBron's career has been defined more by versatility and longevity rather than by leading the league in scoring year after year. Another major point in the debate is peak dominance. During the early 2000s, Shaquille O'Neal was widely viewed as one of the most unstoppable forces the game had ever seen. Playing for the Los Angeles Lakers alongside Kobe Bryant, he helped lead the franchise to 3 consecutive championships and earned the Finals MVP award each time. That stretch of dominance is often used as a benchmark when people compare different eras of basketball greatness. Meanwhile, discussions about LeBron frequently focus on his overall finals record, which has become a major talking point in debates about his place in history. The conversation also extends beyond individual statistics and into career decisions. In 2010, LeBron's move from the Cleveland Cavaliers to the Miami Heat during the televised special known as The Decision became one of the most talked about moments in modern sports media. By joining stars like Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, he created a powerful roster that immediately changed the balance of the league. Later, he returned to Cleveland to play alongside Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love, before eventually signing with the Los Angeles Lakers and teaming up with Anthony Davis. Some critics interpret these moves as strategic attempts to build championship-level teams, while supporters argue they simply reflect the modern reality of player empowerment in the NBA. These debates even appear in discussions about the greatest starting lineups in basketball history. When Shaquille O'Neal has been asked about his personal all-time lineup, he has sometimes chosen players like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and other legendary figures instead of including LeBron. For many fans, This highlights how opinions about the greatest players are deeply influenced by the era in which someone played. The careers of athletes like Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron each reflect different periods of the NBA, with unique styles, rules, and competitive environments. The debate also expanded recently when LeBron discussed the physical demands of modern basketball on the podcast Mind the Game. He argued that today's pace and space style requires constant movement and endurance, making an 82-game season extremely demanding. Some former players disagree with that perspective, pointing out that earlier eras involved far more physical contact in the paint. During the days of the Detroit Pistons, Bad Boys teams, players regularly faced aggressive defense and heavy collisions around the basket. Veterans often describe needing extensive recovery just to get through the next game. Shaquille O'Neal has also pointed out how rule changes over the years have transformed the style of play. Adjustments, such as the hand-checking restrictions introduced in 2004 and the defensive 3-second rule, created more space for offensive players and reduced some of the physical contact that once defined the league. Supporters of modern basketball say these changes improved scoring and pace, while critics believe they removed some of the defensive intensity that once made the NBA feel like a nightly battle. Ultimately, the debate over greatness continues because every era of basketball tells a different story.